Greetings, family. Greetings, beloved and beautiful and wonderful family. This is Brother Dulani, and welcome to Clear Thinking. And this episode 25, I want to just remind us of how wonderful, how powerful we are as a people. I want to remind you of the great ancestors who have paved the way for us to be here. I want to remind you of our great people who have endured so much so we can be here today. You know what I mean? People like Nanny of the Maroons, people like Marcus Garvey, people like Nat Turner, people like Gabriel Prosser, people like Denmark Vassey, people like Nat Turner, people like Taki, you know? All of the great ones, them in Brazil, who resisted their enslavement. Those who resisted in Cuba. Those who resisted in Barbados. You know? Those who resisted all over the diaspora and on the continent of Africa. I want to big them up, I want to rise them up today, you know? I want us to remember them sometime when we're on the journey, when we're going through our daily lives, and we're looking for strength. We're looking for a sense of reassurance. So look to those great liberators. And in modern time, we have the great liberators that came in the anti-colonial struggle. Liberators like Kwame Nkrumah. Liberators like Amilcar Cabral. Liberators like Samora Machel. We have to remember these great leaders, these great liberators that has walked this earth, have paved the way, and they have left a legacy of knowledge, of political education, or as my brethren would say, Africation, you know, some African education. We combine it together and create Africation, you know, great legacy to learn from. You know, these leaders, you know, they have paid the ultimate price. Many of them live long. Many of them have moved on to the ancestors' realm, but they have left a legacy for us. A legacy for us to consider in our daily life thoughts, for inspiration, for motivation, for strength when we're facing difficulties, when we're in these societies that we built but we don't own, and when the odds are against us and we have to face these people. Walking with the strength of Malcolm X, walking with the spirit of a Nat Turner, walking, you know, with the faith of a Nelson Mandela. You know, even though many would disagree with many of his tactics, but as a man, as an individual, he have paid a price for our liberation along the way. Martin Luther King, for his tenacity, his audacity. We have to remember these people. They are our legacy. They have left a legacy for us. And we need to remember them as we go about our daily lives. You know, I think of Amilcar Cabral, you know, an agricultural engineer from Cape Verde, you know, and what he had to go through. But he was a brilliant political, intellectual engineer. He was an intellectual, he was a political architect. Amazing legacy, amazing intellectual legacy for us as a people to gravitate towards and learn. Teach our children about these people. You know, our libraries should have the lives of these people on it. That's how they live on. People like Marcus Garvey. We have to remember the great Marcus Garvey. You know, have laid a great legacy for us to learn from. We learn from their mistakes, and we learn from their strength, and we learn from their vision. Because a movement progress is not determined by how much they have achieved in terms of achieving their vision. No, it is determined by the boldness and the bigness and the greatness of their vision. And these leaders that we had were visionaries. Great vision for our liberation. And all of them were devoted to Pan-Africanism. That means that all of us as African people working together for the benefit and for the liberation and for the redevelopment of our people, for the restoration of our African cultures, and for our political liberation, where we are in full control of our political destiny. That is what these leaders had in mind for us. So I just want to share this short message about remembering our ancestors as we go about our daily lives, as we struggle to make ends meet, as we try to create businesses and create opportunities for ourselves and create a better world for our children. Remember those ancestors. Name your children after these great ancestors. Name your schools, name your roads, name your buildings of significance in honor of any of these great ancestors who have laid on a great legacy for us. We must honor them. We must be essential to the legacy of our ancestors, because they were essential to us being alive today and to be even to have some semblance of freedom, to be able to even speak and to be able to go about without being attacked on a daily basis. It was because of their work. They have laid a foundation for us to build on. Now we need to take control of our economic and political destiny. That is in our hands, in our control. It's going to require hard work on our people's behalf. And those who have resources have to be willing to invest in your own people, to invest in your own liberation, to make sure those schools are well equipped in our communities, that they're teaching about our ancestors, they're teaching about our culture as African people. These are the essential ingredient for a genuine revolution. Our people must develop our culture, our own distinctive ideas, our own distinctive knowledge, our own distinctive way of knowing. We have to develop that and use that for the liberation of ourselves and to provide for our children a better world. So I'm asking you, my people, remember your ancestors. And that is my message today. Remember them. I have not named, I just a tip of the iceberg. There's so many of them who have wrote great books that we couldn't even talk about them in sections. Our historians. You know, we talk about the Dr. Ben, the Dr. Clark. We're talking about the Chancellor Williams, the John G. Jackson. You know? The Hubert Harrison, the great, you know, they call him the Black Socrates. You know? So many of them, Claude McCade, so many. On the scholarly side, then you talk about the revolutionary side, all over Africa. The fight for liberation in Ghana, the fight for liberation in Angola, the fight for liberation in Zambia, the fight for liberation in South Africa, the fight for liberation in Mozambique, in Tanzania, in Kenya. All those movements were led by great Africans. And many of them behind the scene, names who we are not even familiar with, who have paid ultimate price all over Africa and all over the Caribbean and even in America. And we must not forget those in Haiti, the Dessalines, the Toussaint Overture, John Jacques Dessalines. We cannot forget them. Bookman, Dutty, So many of them who have paid the ultimate price for us to be free today. And I just want to be a reminder. I just want to remind you people that we are the dream of our ancestors. We are the vision of our ancestors, and we need to continue this struggle against the same system that enslaved our people is the same system that exists today. The same system that colonized our people, exploited our people, and beat and whipped our great-great-grandparents who exploited the labor, who have extracted all the value of our labor. That system exists today, and that system is capitalism. Make no mistake about it. And imperialism is the order of the day, where capitalism is no longer a national economics system. It is a global system. And that's what imperialism is, a global advancement of capital for maximization of profit. And we have to resist this system by any means necessary. I know no one individual can resist totally. No one country can resist totally. But collectively, through unity, through operational unity, we can resist this system and build a better system that will cater for us as a people, for our culture, for our aspiration, for our children to live in peace, for the world to live in peace. This system has to go. If we want to end homelessness, end poverty, if we want to end inequality, illiteracy, if we want to end all of these problems that we face with economically, we have to end this system and build a new one that's based on truth, justice, and equality, where everyone gets access to the best that is available, the resource that we have to build the best schools, the best hospital, the best roads, the best homes. Because it's technology that does it, a commitment to science and to education and to Africation, a deep commitment to science. That is the key, and to our culture. These are the key ingredients for our liberation. And once we get control of the political system, we can change the economic system, and we can be done. The capitalists want us to believe that capitalism is synonymous with progress, that we cannot make it without capitalism, that it is capitalism that is providing all the wonderful things that we have. And that is not true. The truth is, it is the science and technology that can provide, that can make it possible. Let's look at China. China is not a capitalist society, but they will use any mechanism scientifically for their development. There is no limitation to what a human being can do when they give them the right resources. Humans are naturally creative, are naturally curious and want to learn and want to know. And we have to stimulate that in us to build a better world, to build a system where everyone can be catered for. It is possible. And I'm asking you, my people, as you go about your lives, remember the teachings of our ancestors. All of them wanted equality, justice. All of them want us to be free. And we must remember them as we go about our daily lives. I want to thank you for listening to this program. Thank you for listening to Clear Thinking with Brother Dulani. And I want to keep coming to you with clear and concise thinking and thoughts and analysis. I'm asking you to like this program, to share this program, and to subscribe to this channel. Help me to grow. Eventually, I will have my studio. I will be set up, and we're going to go forward with this channel. This is how I think now in my latter stage of my life. I'm going to devoted to providing my analysis of the condition that we're faced with. So I want to thank you and join me on this journey. And I will give you what I've been given, those great ancestors that have nourished me, and I will be able to pass on what I've learned. And I want to thank you so much, my people. Thank you for listening to Clear Thinking with Brother Dulani. Ashe Hotep Mahat.